2014, wonderful year for video games, and of course it's been an honor to host and talk to all you wonderful people about all of the best games that came out this year and the nominees. I want to give a special shout out to our friends at Airheads who have sponsored this year's Game of the Year nominee discussions, and they wanted to do something special at the end of this show, so I didn't want to impact on our normal discussions and sort of, exactly. See, that is exactly what would happen. There would be chewing while we were talking about stuff.
Listen, Dragon Age Inquisition is a wonderful game.
Ooh,
You're lucky you're
you're
lucky you're not in this discussion because I'm going to be throwing these at people's faces pretty soon.
Oh, God.
GameSpot of old used to do a lot of interesting sort of off-platform nominees, like best art, technical, best art.
Best competitive multiplayer, best cooperative multiplayer, best story, best ending, best character.
Exactly. So I wanted to harp back to those days. So I've got 5 questions. I've told you the questions. I don't know what the answers are. Both of you are going to have to try and convince me that you have the right answer for this. And I'm going to throw Airheads at you while you do it. If you win. If you win, you get Airheads, all right? So 5 questions. I hope you put good thought into this because me and Chris are going to be criticizing you pretty good. And we've been talking for an hour and 45 minutes now, so we're pretty good at shutting down arguments.
Salty.
So first one. Biggest game disappointment of 2014, Alexa.
I have the right answer, and it's Assassin's Creed Unity.
Okay, why?
So not only was it sort of like didn't really iterate on previous Assassin's Creed mechanics too much, but also like Assassin's Creed story is usually pretty good. They want you to care for the character, but that whole Abstergo thing jumped the shark so many games ago, and I didn't care about the relationship between the two protagonists. It was supposed to be a love story, it didn't really work out.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it, and I just thought it was not that good. Wah.
Really? All right, Peter Brown, can you get more disappointing than that?
Okay, so one of the greatest action series of all time is Ninja Gaiden, right?
Okay.
And,
I know where this is going.
The man behind that is no longer with the team who developed it. It's my turn to talk. Keep your mouth shut, please. He's gone, but Koei Tecmo is developing a new Ninja Gaiden game, and within developing it, they had Keiji Inafune, the man behind Mega Man, the guy behind Onimusha. He also worked on some of the Resident Evil games. This wonderful game designer. What the result was Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z, aka a steaming pile of crap. This game had a really eye-catching presentation, but it had a horribly non-funny, vulgar script. The action did not flow well together at all, and this is a game that's designed on this legacy of a great action series. It had beautiful graphics, but using them, they just basically put out a lot of just vomiting and blood spewing. It wasn't actually put to great effect. The game had a pedigree behind it. It could have been great. Turned out awful.
Ninjas, zombies, the game!
Yeah, this is hard because I was anticipating Watch Dogs to be mentioned, which kind of fell into the Assassin's Creed section. But I remember playing Ninja Gaiden Ninja Gaiden Z and thinking, man, this is a piece of hot trash. So Peter Brown, you win.
Yes.
First one.
Yes.
Airheads Bite-Size Brawl round 1 winner, Mr. Peter Brown. All right, round 2.
Okay.
You thought that one was hard. What was your biggest surprise of 2014? Peter, go.
Biggest surprise for me was Sunset Overdrive.
Okay.
After many previews that were written on GameSpot and talking to my colleagues oh yeah, this game is just, it's not really there. I was assigned the review, and a couple hours in, I was like, yeah, it's pretty as hell, but nothing really there. Eventually that game opened up, and it was just a blast to play. I could skate my way on top of rooftops, electric lines, all the way across the city, finding these ridiculous guns destroying huge throngs of enemies, and there was no slowdown at any point. It was just a really, really fun game. And unlike Ninja Gaiden Z, where this tried to be really vulgar, it did so in a way where you didn't feel like the actors were forcing it.
Okay.
The swears rolled off their tongue, the insults kind of rolled off their tongue. And in this sort of aftermath of a horrible apocalypse where most games take it and everything's really downtrodden, they were lighthearted about the whole thing. They're like, yeah, shit's fucked up, but you know what? Whatever, we're just going with it. So here's a gun.
Strong argument. Also, almost exactly on 1 minute. Well done. Alexa, go for it. Beat that.
Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor.
Okay.
Think of every Lord of the Rings game that has ever come out, with the exception of maybe the EA Two Towers and Return of the King game. When they announced this game, everyone went, oh, it's a Lord of the Rings game. And then when they started showing footage, because that IP has been treated pretty poorly.
Yeah.
And then they started showing footage, and people were like, oh, it's just Batman, Lord of the Rings. It's Assassin's Creed with Aragorn, meh, stuff like that. And then they started showing the Nemesis system, and people were like, oh, okay, maybe. And then the game came out, and everyone freaking loves it. Not only has it rejuvenated the Lord of the Rings IP, but it's rejuvenated the action-adventure genre. And that's why it's the right answer.
You know what? This side of the release of Shadow of Mordor, it's easy to forget that we had super Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor apathy but a couple of months earlier. I remember Michael de Platter coming on our stage at E3 And
Not one, not two, but three.
3 times. And talking about the Nemesis system
Yeah.
and all. And even then, it seemed really good, but even then it didn't. It was
still
when
one
you
of those
played
things
that
where you're
game.
like, oh man, that sounds cool, but
Yeah.
damn, I don't know if you're gonna pull that off at all.
But Sunset Overdrive is a pretty good shout, but you don't win. It's all about Mordor. Mordor.
Whoa, what?
There you go. Question 3.
only
The
got 2.
Airheads bite-sized brawl.
Mother F.
This is a good one. Which console in 2014 had the better exclusives? Obviously, it's PC, but let's find out about the 2 other ones.
System Wars, the question.
Alexa, System Wars, the question. Go.
My vote is for the PlayStation 4.
Okay.
And my argument is because most of the games that are showing really innovative, really unique experiences in 2014 have been indie games. The PlayStation 4 has, Flow, Flower, and Journey, but they also got Hohokam. They got Transistor, which was your favorite, which you
Oh,
absolutely
look at you.
love.
Placating me. I like
That will work.
And there's just so much indie love surrounding it and sort of looking forward.
Octodad.
Octodad as well.
Hey, you're not allowed.
Thank you.
Stop it. Stop it.
All of those experiences are on, they're on PC, but they're also console only on PlayStation. And I think moving forward, we're going to see Sony really cultivating that. It was evident at PSX this past weekend. So I think that's why PlayStation 4 is the best console. this
Okay.
year.
Which console are you going for, Peter?
There's only one right answer. It's the Wii U.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And my my reasoning is Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, Bayonetta 2, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Other games that are great. No, I think Nintendo does some things that no other company can do, and that is pack these like really interesting mechanics into games that are so approachable by everybody, and they're so like well refined. You never find issues that plague other games where things are broken or it's like inconsistent or there's really poor pacing. And then you have something like Bayonetta 2, which is just this tour de force of like over the top action. It's a beautiful game on a system that's usually like given like kind of like the short end of the stick when it comes to technical praise. And it's a fantastic action game that's nearly flawless in every regard.
All right, I think when you did the whole Mario Kart and the Smash Bros. And the
But
other
there's no
games.
transistor on
Treasure
Wii U.
Tracker.
I know there's no transistor, but I bought a Wii U last week, so in the interest of not having buyer's remorse. Peter Brown!
Yeah, okay, wait,
Round
hold on.
3.
Hold on. She got 3 for winning the first
I'm
round.
counting the numbers. The Airheads.
I'm counting the Airheads.
I am in charge of the Airheads bite-sized brawl. I'll have you. I am the czar
You're the
of
dictator.
the bite-sized brawl. You think I don't have like 50 boxes of this at home? I'm in charge. 2-1 right now. Question 4. What was the best-looking visual game of 2014? Peter Brown.
Bayonetta 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
So, like I said, that game is, forget the platform that it's on and that it looks great on a system, that's usually like given that, sort
You
of
sure you want me
the
to
knock.
forget that? It seems
Forget
pretty
about
important.
It. Forget about it. That game has such incredible scale to it with such ornate detail in almost every aspect. And it is all like this sort of resolution where you're not like, oh yeah, it's big, but it's kind of muddy because the screen's so big, so they gotta, no. Nothing is dialed down. That game is fast, humongous, ornate, colorful, and it has beautiful artistic design.
Alexa, you want to win this? You know what to do. What's your video game? Was it 1080-60?
Sunset Overdrive, because it's beautiful, it's colorful, you have all those different options. Part of what I loved about it is the customization options. You can make yourself look like anyone you want it to look like. And flying around that city not only made you feel powerful, but it was fun to watch yourself fly across that city and all those colors whizzing by and all of that sort of brightness. And for a game that's sort of really like, it's really dark, like you're fighting at the apocalypse and everyone around you is turning into these monsters, I think that beauty really lent itself to it. And it was just...
Do that again.
Knocked over my airheads.
That's pretty good. Do that again one more time. You do the poo thing. To me, I'm the king of the Airheads bite-sized ball.
I
Honestly.
think we should usurp the
It was colorful like
We know
Airheads.
we know who wins that one. You didn't need to do that bit at the end. That was unnecessary. But
collusion.
you want one?
Collusion.
All right, there you go. All right, we got a deadlock. 2 and 2, or that way, I guess. It's probably better if we do it that way. The
I
last
have more
question.
candy.
It's not
much
about
less candy.
It's not about how much candy. you
Maybe
have in
not to you,
Look,
but to me.
Look, I've given. These are basically all the presents I'm bringing home to Ireland for my family, so I can give you only the 3 that are left, and then the rest are mine. The last question, folks. The most important video game question you'll answer in 2014 to win the Airheads Bite-Sized Brawl. What was the weirdest game of 2014, Alexa?
this is I'm jumping on what he said earlier. I'm going with Bayonetta 2.
Oh wow.
Because one, it's a perfect action game. Like we talked about this earlier.
That's not weird.
Well, it's weird because it's a perfect action game, and you play as a lady who makes weapons and clothes out of her hair.
Yeah.
And the game is just like, I think it's weird personally that it's on the Wii U. Number one, Mario, Bayonetta. But it's just the whole concept of like having just the whole damn thing. And it's totally weird.
Are you
and
saying
strange.
it's just not as weird because we knew about Bayonetta 1? Are you saying if Bayonetta 2 just came out with all the hair stuff?
No, I think it's still weird. I played Bayonetta 1 and I still think the whole thing is sort of a jumble of weirdness, but it works. And that's
even weirder.
And it makes you feel super powerful.
All right, strong contender, Peter Brown.
Sports Friends. I'm going with Sports Friends because it has a bunch of games in it, including one called Johann Sebastian Joust.
Okay.
Where you use the PlayStation Move controllers and you like circle around your friends in real life. There's no TV involved. You're literally trying to like jostle your friends and prevent them from doing stuff. That is unusual as hell.
Are you saying Johann Sebastian Joust came out in 2014? Because I remember playing that back in
Yeah.
06.
No,
but
it's an actual
no,
release.
it did not come out. It did not come out
You
until
need a
Sports Friends.
PlayStation Move, and who owns a PlayStation Move?
That is not part
That's
of the
why it's weird.
No, that's
Only
negated.
weirdos own them.
No.
I have like
Plus-
4 PlayStation Move controllers at home.
What?
I know.
That is weird.
I deep dove on PS Move and I've regretted it ever since.
It's also got the game Barabari Ball in it, but also the pole vaulting friends component.
Super Pole Riders.
Super Pole Riders.
Yeah.
We're using these really phallic-like
Sounds dirty.
things to sort of like
just a
bump
pole.
into each other and like prod your friends and get all weird with your phallus. And what's weirder than that?
Okay.
Weird.
Chris, I'm going to let you decide. We have been co-hosting this show all year long.
Yeah.
I feel like this is too hard a decision, so I'm going to ask you to do it. So here, I'm going to throw this at you, and then you throw it onto
Oh
whoever.
god, this
All
is
right.
still startling. I don't like it.
Well, there's only one game that I have accidentally, in the course of playing the game, bludgeoned a man in his genitals, and that is Johann Sebastian Joust. So that's 1 point. I got 3 though.
Oh, yeah,
These
yeah,
are only
yeah,
with
yeah,
no
yeah.
points,
What?
right? So, a lady attacking weird centaurs on the back of a jet with her hair. Weird. Also,
Okay.
yes. So
Yay.
Bayonetta. So I think the final decision here, who's going to win the Airheads bite-sized brawl? Bayonetta 2, too weird.
Oh.
Too weird, way too weird. Looking at any 2 seconds of that game, and it is the weirdest crap.
I have
Fair
all
point.
the candy.
I'm gonna hit
I
you
have
with the
one.
genitals.
There you go, Alexa
PlayStation
wins.
Move.
Yes.
Airheads
shit.
bite-sized
Okay.
ball.